Orange County Registered Digital.
Hello and welcome to the OCVarsity Gridiron Extra Show. I'm your host, Jonathan Khamis, being joined by Dan Albano and Steve Fryer. We're here at Garden Grove. The Argos are on the road to a CIF championship. They haven't won one since 2010. Dan, last week the Argos defeated Brea Olinda 21-18 behind Alex Ceja and Jordan Antunez. They had 347 yards rushing combined and 3 touchdowns. Garden Grove really kicking it into high gear here in the semifinals, heading into the semifinals.
Yeah, they definitely look like the top seed, and they're playing like it. They're running the ball a little bit more than they have in the past this year. Antunez has already rushed for over 1,400 yards, and the Argonauts got over 3,000 already for the season. These kids are really winners out here. I mean, they have the winning mentality here. They've had it. I think it really goes back, not too long ago, to the late Joe Hay, who really helped turn this program around, and it was, carried on by Willie Puga. And you talk to some of these Garden Grove kids, and I've been fortunate to talk to them over the years a little bit with the OC All-Star game. Some of those kids we've selected, they're just winners, and they expect to win, and I think that's really going to, helps them in their playoff runs, because they're here almost every year, and they don't have to face Corona Del Mar if they get to the finals. So, but they're going to have to beat a pretty hungry and tough Elmo team.
And El Modena defeated Santiago last week, 41-20. Their starting quarterback Garrett Graham was knocked out of the game, but hey, we're just going to wildcat to victory. These guys are pretty good.
Well, that's typical Elmo stuff, I think, this year. Definitely a survivalist sort of a mentality there. I saw them early in the season, and they lost that game, but I saw some effort there, and I saw a little foundation. I went up to Matt Mitchell, the offensive coordinator. I said, you guys are going to make the playoffs and win a playoff game or two. He looked at me like I was nuts, like a lot of people look at me like I'm nuts. But, here they are. They're playing Garden Grove, and, Garden Grove is going to be favored. But Elmo's going to give a full effort, man. These Grove guys, they better be ready for Elmo, man.
Yeah, I think they will be. So let's go ahead and check out what the Garden Grove players and staff has to say.
We're going to have to control the football, do what we do. We've been running the football real well, but we're going to have to stop their offense. They do a lot of different things on offense, and they're really well coached. So for us, we're going to have to control the football, make sure we tackle well, don't turn the ball over.
Us seniors, we just played our freshman team all over again, and everyone has improved, and look where it got us.
We're a good football team, but we never underestimate them. That's why they're in the third round, and we just got to play hard to stop their run game.
Our thanks to the Argos for having us out here. Dan, one more team in the Southern semis to talk about. That's Canyon taking on Rancho Alamitos. And speaking about Canyon first, the Comanches defeated Los Amigos last week, 27-3. And get this with the Comanches. After losing their first 6 games, they have now won 6 straight. And here they are in the semifinals, Dan.
Man, yeah. Their first-year coach, Mike Ogus, taking over for Coach Kunow, has, really, they've had to really hang tough. One of their losses in that 6 was a really big blowout to Los Alamitos. Shutout, 50-0 type game. But they, like you alluded to, Jonathan, they've turned it around with defense. They've only allowed 3 points in the playoffs. They also shut out Santa Ana, I believe. The Vaqueros, Coach Enright doing a great job. Nick Brown and that offense, they spread them out. They have 4 real good receivers. Nick Brown, he rolls out. He gets the ball out quick. They have good receivers, sure-handed receivers. They have some physical guys. They're fast. So that's going to be a really interesting style. It's going to be that Canyon, on a roll, Canyon defense against the Rancho Alamitos offense.
Garden Grove knows a little bit about those Vaqueros, right, Steve? Rancho Alamitos, they beat Westminster last week, 34-29, and Nick Brown, we've been saying it all year, the kid's incredible, 331 yards passing, 4 touchdowns.
I can't believe that Rancho's playing this style of ball, guys. I always say that to get in the later round of the playoffs and succeed in the later round of the playoffs, you got to throw the football sometime, somehow, somewhere. Mm-hmm. Well, at Rancho, they do a lot of it. And when you are in that Southern Division where people run the ball all over the place, then you run into a passing team, really hard thing to do is sort of replicate that in practice and get ready to see that kind of spread throwing the ball around thing you're going to see. So Rancho's, they're probably in a really good place right now in this game.
Yeah, Garden Grove could be an all Garden Grove final in this Southern Division, and they deserve it the way they've been playing in the playoffs, certainly impressing all of us. Our thanks to Dan Albano, our thanks to Steve Fryer. I'm your host, Jonathan Khamis, and for all of your latest playoff updates this weekend, check out OCVarsity.com, where we've got you covered.
Orange County Register. We are here in the service of Orange County.